has any kind of removal. So I think we just go for it. And unless he has like shock and response, then that's it. I mean, he could like shock or incinerate in response, but and he raged. It's pretty funny when people rage. I just always get a kick out of it. So in the meantime, let's go see the rest of his matches. Oops. While we're sideboarding here, we're going to be bringing in Flash Freeze for sure. Redirect is actually not terrible here. Ice Cage is probably also coming in. Fog is another thing we could potentially use. So definitely taking out Harbor Serpent. Phantasmal Dragon is pretty terrible against him. I mean, I suppose it's fine because if he has, like, he doesn't have any real targeting effects that don't just kill things anyways. So I suppose Dragon's okay. What do we cut? Don't need Plummet. Let's see. I think we could potentially... We definitely want Brindlebore. I mean, Brindlebore is better than Crocodile against him. Could potentially bring in Redirect. I mean, Crocodile is fine, but I think that Brindlebore, the life gain, will be actually quite relevant. Alluring Siren is... I mean, it's fine. We can force him to attack into our spiders or something like that, but I think we really want Fog in this deck, or maybe Redirect. Like, we did see a Fireball, and Redirect just beats Fireball. Yeah, I think we want to bring that in. Probably cut the Siren. Unsummon is fine, but his creatures are fairly cheap, so I think we're just going to go with Fog instead. And it's a pretty good hand for us. Grab another forest. Alright. We could just drop Dragon here. I mean, I think Dragon is fine. Like, if he has the removal, he has the removal. No big deal. Yep. And then next turn, I think we just I mean, like, I guess we could like Acidic Slime one of his lands, but I think I'd rather incinerate this right now, and and then just drop the Brindle Boar. I mean, like, we could Incinerate on his turn, I suppose, in response to him playing a creature, but, you know, or some enchantment or something, but I think we just want to get it out. Definitely trading here for Piker. We'll go ahead and fan the shock. I mean, like, he has Gorehorn Minotaurs, but he also has the Devouring Swarm, so not really sure which land to take out. Now here's the thing, we could trade, if we draw a land and play Carnage Worm, it's much better, but I think that trading here is... I still think I want to trade here. Just pretty leery about damage against this kind of deck, and I guess we just drew the ridiculous bomb, so that's fine. Now he's going to have a hard time even targeting our guy. Yeah, and I think the rest is pretty much a foreseen conclusion. Or a foregone conclusion. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard for him to get out of this situation. And he is continuing to rage. Always get a kick out of that. And that is the match. So we will see you for the next draft here, which should be starting soon. We did go 3-0, so we are going to be in the top 8 draft, and that will be starting shortly. Okay, here we are for the top 8 draft. The pick here, I think, is not close. We have Grim Lavamancer, which is also worth quite a few ticks, and it is by far the most powerful card in this pack, so I think we are going to take it. See, second pick here. The notable cards in this pack are Shock, Merfolk Looter, Stormfront Pegasus, Giant Spider. Been more and more impressed with Timely Reinforcements. It's actually a very good card, in Limited as well as in Constructed. Throne is interesting, but I think that we're just going to go ahead and stick with Shock. Try to stay in red. Okay, so here we have a few different cards here. We've got Ring Flesh in black. We have Griffin Sentinel in white. Sacred Wolf is fine. And I really like Carnage Worm. I think that red-green is a strong combination, and Carnage Worm really worked out quite well for us in the last draft. I think this card is a little underrated, and it's so powerful if you can get Bloodthirst on it, or even if you can't. And there are not many things that just deal with it, so... Thinking of taking the Carnage Worm here. Let's see, what did we see last pack? We did see a Stormfront Pegasus, so white might be coming. This one is interesting. I think that... Actually, I think I'm going to take the Griffin Sentinel here. Seems like there might be more white coming, and could be a good color to go into. So, here we see... Arsonist is a good card. Manic Vandal is fine. Mind Rod is okay. It's not as good because the format is more aggressive. Bears are okay. I think that the pick here is just going to be the Arsonist. Like, Dignitary is fine also, but it's just not very aggressive. Here we have, let's see, we've got Vanguard, Divination, Garrick's Companion. Like, Divine Favor is fine. I don't think it's on the level of these other cards here, though. I'm kind of tempted to take the Divination here. It's one of the few ways to get card advantage in this format, and I've just been very impressed by it. However, we have seen some white coming, so I think it's between Divination and Vanguard here. I do like red-blue, but I think I'm going to try red-white because it's a good combination also, and I think Vanguard's a pretty strong aggressive card. So here we have Stave Off is the best card in the pack. Mana Leak would be the other potential card. Drifting Shade is okay, but I really don't think it's on the same level as these two other cards here, so we will pick up the Stave Off. Hopefully our idea that white is being passed pays off. And here, like, Warpaint is just fine. Plummet is great, and Sacred Wolf, so these are a little late on the Sacred Wolf and the Plummet. These are both very good green cards. But I think for this deck, we just want Active Treason. I think it's going to be the best card for us. It fits very well in the red-white archetype, and pretty much always been pleased with it. So here we have Auramancer, if we pick up any kind of enchantments. Typically gets a lot better if you have like multiple Divine Favors or things like that. Mighty Leap is a good trick. Slaughter Cry is a good trick also. It really helps, your sort of smaller, white creatures really push through that extra damage that they need. So I think actually I'm going to take the Slaughter Cry here. I think it fits the deck pretty well. And not much here. Like, we could look at, trying to hedge and picking up like a Ponder or a Siren. Or even like a Runeclaw Bears. But actually, I think that Griffin Rider, if you have the Stave Offs to back it up, I think this is actually an interesting card. I haven't played with it much. I don't know how good it is really, but I think it has potential. And I think it could fit this deck fairly well. Probably don't want a second Slaughter Cry. I think that we just take the Sentinel here, which is average. Wow, that is a late Carnage Worm. We could pick up the Carnage Worm and just hedge in case we open like a green bomb. However, I think that Circle of Flame is actually a very good sideboard card. If you're up against like the red-black matchup, it just kills like half their deck. I think we're going to do that. Siege Mastodon is fine. These cards are all terrible. I'll just, yeah. Hideous Visage is actually not a bad card either. It's sort of a nice little falter effect, and that's always good in this format, especially when there's so many guys and the board stalls because there's no sweepers or any kind of mass removal.